The first thing a parent should do, and is highly recommended, is to acknowledge that the abuse has occurred. In a lot of instances, you can do worse damage to your child than has already occurred by not acknowledging it, by brushing it under the carpet, by telling the child, oh, it's okay, you'll get over it, or not believing the child, or thinking the child is making a mountain out of a molehill, or, trying to say you're doing this for attention. It's bad enough that this has occurred to the child, but it's worse when somebody doesn't acknowledge it. And this is a figure of trust we're talking about. So if a figure of trust doesn't acknowledge that this has happened to him or her, the damage goes deeper. So step one, please acknowledge. Step two, ensure that the child is comfortable and trusts you and is telling you all the details that the child has to offer and share. And step three, please assure the child that this will not happen again, that you are protecting the child from here on, and you will take steps to ensure that this does not happen to anybody else as well, if it has been happening to other children as well. Typically, pedophilia is not a one-off instance. People who use their power over children to gratify themselves sexually typically don't just do it once for a lark. So if it has happened to you or your child, and you are certain that you've done all you can to ensure your child's safety, also remember the world has other vulnerable children and we are responsible for each other to some degree. So that is your step to be taken as a parent when you find out. I don't believe that children get over it automatically. Child sexual abuse has to be looked at for what it is. It is a serious crime. It is the violation of somebody's most vulnerable entity. That's what I would call it, a person's most vulnerable entity. Sexual abuse is about power. Sexual abuse is about violation. It's about helplessness. And you cannot say it'll go away. Yes, there are different ways for children to deal with it. Some children will certainly deal with it better than others. Some personalities are permanently scarred, damaged for life. Some find ways to cope. Those ways may not necessarily be healthy ways of coping or resolution. They may resort to unhealthy ways of engaging with people emotionally, withdrawal, bedwetting. As adults, they may, not be able to show affection. There are multiple scenarios for, the way a person can act out this sort of abuse. So definitely don't gloss over it. Please seek professional help and make sure that the perpetrator does not have a chance to do this again. If a parent realizes that he or she has been powerless to stop this abuse of his or her child, they are likely to undergo huge feelings of guilt. As parents, guilt is like your third limb anyway. Parents feel guilt about a number of subjects related to their children, but this is huge because your child has been damaged and scarred in ways that you feel you could have controlled, but step one, guilt is not going to get you anywhere, even though it is a natural consequence of this act. You can definitely seek professional help, and you should, especially if this is hindering your ability to function or to reach out to your child, or affecting your marriage, or affecting the way you help your child. Definitely go in for help yourself, certainly.